everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Atma Occult. Today we will be discussing the astrological transits for the month of October and what they are likely to bring for each ascendant sign. These transits can also apply to you from your moon sign. Don't know your sidereal ascendant or moon sign, you're welcome to use our free birth chart calculator at atmaoccult.com.
Before we get started, if you've ever wanted us to look directly at one specific question or theme in your life without booking a full consultation, be sure to check out our focus reading. It's quick, laser focused, and gives you the exact guidance you need on one burning issue you've been thinking about. We've made it super easy. Just follow the link in the description of this video and reserve
till it moves into the sign.
Jupiter will move into the sign of Cancer on the 19th, where it will be exalted briefly until it moves back into the sign of Gemini on December 6th. On October 20th, Mercury will cross directly over Mars in the same degree, after which it will move into the sign of Scorpio on the 25th. Mars will move into the sign of Scorpio on the 28th.
Overall, this month can represent a final clearing of tensions, which will ultimately give way to a newfound hope and positivity. Venus crossing directly over K2 in the first week of the month can signify that there is still a danger to women, especially female performing artists or politicians. There is also a potential for experiences of rejection from women, and this could be the case for men that are interested in dating or anyone trying to approach women for any reason.
Yeah, so even in like a context of reaching out to someone to work in a business deal or something like that, it could just end up that if that you end up rejected from that.
Right, so like a female boss or coworker or even a friend asking for a favor, so just could happen. Be aware.
Better results after October 10th.
Yes.
So Mercury joining Mars in the sign of Libra for most of the month will stimulate heated debates in the public, especially culminating on the 20th when Mercury crosses directly over Mars. Since Libra is also the sign of relationships and Venus will be debilitated in Virgo and aspected by Saturn for most of the month, this can present some challenges in relationships. Saturn's aspect can show us that the key to overcoming these challenges is to embrace the relationship as a responsibility and look forward to more enjoyable times coming very soon.
Around the time when Jupiter moves into its exaltation sign of Cancer on the 19th, a collective sense of hope and optimism will start to predominate over the negativity and chaos we all had to face during the summer. This optimism will be in the form of an increased interest in subjects like spirituality and astrology.
So, for Aries ascendant or moon sign, this month is a time of Raj Yoga, showing that the efforts you put into the 7th house matters now will pay off. When Jupiter moves into your 4th house of Cancer and spirituality.
For Taurus ascendant or moon sign, for closure and creativity. Your Lagna Lord Venus is currently transiting over K2 in your fourth house of home, vehicles, and inner psychology. These areas of your life most likely upheaval in the recent months, and Venus moving into your 5th house will be Venus moving into your 5th house on the 10th marks an end to this period of inner cleansing. Venus will be in the sign of Virgo, ruled by Mercury, with Mercury in the sign of Libra, ruled by Venus. This is
with Mars, the 11th lord of gains. After Venus moves into Virgo on the 10th, Mercury will also be in a sign exchange with Venus, adding even more power to this combination in the 5th house. It's bode well for financial gains, especially through investments in land, real estate, or vehicles. This is a good time to make some kind of investment if you have the ability. Before October 10th, while Venus is still conjunct K2 in your 3rd house, be very careful with your communication, especially through text, email, or social media, as the wrong phrasing could lead to unexpected conflicts.
Until the 19th, Jupiter moving into your 1st house will bring divine blessings, health, happiness, and wisdom into your life. Jupiter will also be sending its positive, protective aspects onto your 5th house of children, mantras, and creativity. Your 7th house of relationships and business deals, and your 9th house of higher wisdom and long distance travel. Starting new endeavors in these areas of life should prove to be auspicious during this time.
For Leo ascendant or moon sign, this month is a time for you to find relief in solitude. Over the past few months, many intense conjunctions have been taking place with planets crossing over K2 in your 1st house of self, vitality, and overall life path. This has created a burden of confusion and stress in your daily life that has probably felt difficult to escape from. To your 2nd house, on the 10th, these difficult conjunctions in your ascendant will be over. When Jupiter moves into Cancer on the 19th, your ascendant sign will be hemmed between the two most benefic planets, Jupiter and Venus, which will help to cancel out the confusion that K2 in your ascendant has been causing. Venus in your 2nd house of speech will be in a sign exchange with Mercury in your 3rd house of communication. This signals the time where your communication and what to friends, neighbors, or your younger sibling. Just make sure these conversations are aimed at establishing peace and harmony as Mars here can arguments. Jupiter
Time to say what you need to say, it's now. This is a time when opening up your lines of communication more than usual will lead to surprisingly positive outcomes. For most of the year, Jupiter has been transiting through your 10th house, giving blessings to your career. However, Jupiter doesn't love to be in this position and may have been making you feel lazy. Maybe like you would much rather be studying or learning than strictly sticking to productivity. But with Jupiter exalted in your 11th house, this will have a completely different effect. Jupiter here will expand your income and open the door to fruitful business opportunities, which will come likely through networking. All of this information tells us that extroversion will be the greatest key to success this month. Extroversion.
Not introversion.
Extro.
So, for Libra, ascendant or moon sign, this month is a time for you to let go of what no longer serves you and focus on your financial well-being. As we start off the month of October, your Lagna Lord Venus is conjunct K2 in your 11th house of gains, desires, and friendship network circles. There may be friendships in your life that need to end or attachments to desires that are no longer good for you. through your 12th house of expenses. And your 12th Lord Mercury is in your first house with Mars, who rules your second house of wealth. This tells us that your primary area of focus right now should be on getting organized with your income, expenses, and accumulated wealth. This might seem tedious, but it primes your accounts to receive the benevolent blessing of Jupiter, who will be aspecting your second house after the 19th. Not only that, but around the same time, the Sun, which is the Lord of your 11th house of income, will move into your first house, highlighting again the opportunity for gains.
Now for Scorpio, Ascendant, or Moon sign, this month is a time for success to be your retribution. Your Lagna Lord Mars is currently transiting through your 12th house of loss, escapism, and hidden enemies. However, Mars is also your 6th Lord. And when the 6th Lord goes into the 12th house, this forms something called a Viprit Raj Yoga, meaning what initially seems like a struggle turns into a success. Mars here is also conjunct Mercury, your 11th Lord of gains and friendship. This can show that right now you may have friends or an elder sibling who is secretly acting against you behind your back. Just maybe. Once Venus moves into your 11th house on October 10th, it will be forming a sign exchange with Mercury, showing again what initially seems like a loss can turn into a gain. You may be struggling to get some good sleep right now, but this will gradually get better throughout the month. Jupiter moving into your 9th house on October 19th will help you emerge from the depths of personal transformation, help from mentors or father figures. Jupiter here will aspect your ascendant sign, giving you a needed influx of hope and positivity in your life.
Just stay positive until the 19th.
Just keep
Scorpio.
Yeah, glass half full.
You're almost there.
Yeah. If something seems potentially like a negative, there's a good chance you'll find out why it's a good thing later on.
Yep. So for Sagittarius, Ascendant, or Moon sign, through personal transformation, your Lagna Lord Jupiter has been transiting through your 7th house of relationships for most of the year, indicating that you may have been focused primarily on your partnership with your spouse, business partner, or second child. Gemini is an uncomfortable sign for Jupiter, which could mean that these people in your life may be acting in a controlling or dictatorial way toward you. Jupiter moving into your 8th house on October 19th shows that you'll find relief from this pressure, but only if you're willing to undergo psychological or spiritual transformation. When Venus moves into your 10th house on October 10th, it will form a sign exchange with Mercury in your 11th house. The Sun will also be transiting your 10th and 11th houses this month. This tells us that your daily responsibilities will involve serving society, large organizations, or your extended network of friends to get into argumentation.
We don't want that. For Capricorn, Ascendant, or Moon sign, this month is a time for elevation in status. We are currently transiting.
Or Moon sign. This month is a time for you to study and learn from life. Off the month of October, Venus is transiting your 7th house with Ketu and your 7th Lord. The Sun is transiting through your 8th house of secrets, transformation, and deep research. This can signify struggle, difficulty, or separation in relationships. Hidden truths could come to light that cause you to rethink how you want to move forward with your life. Mercury is currently forming a Raj Yoga with Mars in your 9th house of higher education, wisdom, and long distance travel. Mercury is also the 8th lord in your chart, and Mars is the lord of your 10th house of career. Any deep research or spiritual practices you engage in this month will lead to positive changes in your career. Jupiter will move into your 6th house on the 19th. This will help improve the problems you may be facing in your relationship and have a positive effect on your career and bank balance.
All right, lastly, Pisces, ascendant or moon sign. This month is a time for you to find hidden knowledge and embrace creativity. As we start off the month of October, your Lagna Lord Jupiter is transiting through your 4th house of home, property, and happiness. Saturn is currently in your 1st house, increasing the burden of responsibility you carry in your life, which could be causing you to feel pessimistic at times. When Jupiter moves into your 5th house on the 19th, he'll be aspecting your 1st house, which will help alleviate this burden and give you a surge 12 ascendant signs. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already.
Let's look here for any questions.
Okay.
No questions.
No questions. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for watching today. And again, if you are interested in getting a reading from us, be sure to check out our focus reading. It's a great way to get clarity on a single pressing issue in your life right now without having to commit to a more in-depth consultation. See you next time.